So this short video covers my first 3 days in Germany. Stayed at this nice hostel. And my first night I went to Old Altstadt, Heidelberg, and found this nice cozy German restaurant where I started with a nice beer. That was followed by a bratwurst, pretzel, and finished up with a nice sweet dessert wine in the Riesling glass. I slept in that night really late till like 1:30 in the afternoon, got up, walked back into town, and then this is Altstadt Heidelberg at night. You can see the old bridge in the background, and I ate at a wonderful restaurant called the Hochteufel, and didn't take a picture of the food, but this is the beer that I had. Very cozy. It was a great to be back in Germany.
Guten Tag. Ich bin jetzt in Heidelberg. So I'm in Heidelberg, staying at a real nice hostel just back there. It's the Hotel Manager. They have hostel rooms, and I'm the only one in the room. So it's like having a whole room to myself for like $20 a night. It's pretty good. So just to show you around here, it's the usual cloudy winter weather. That diner over there was packed last night. I didn't go there to eat, but I just noticed it seemed like everybody in town was there. People like American diners, I guess. I'm headed to the Heidelberg Hauptbahnhof, the train station, and I'm going to Mannheim and then to Bad Dürkheim and then to Karlstadt for some wine tasting in the Pfalz. Some of my favorite wines. I know the area pretty well, so I can't wait to get back there. So I'm outside the Mannheim Hauptbahnhof here. Getting to know the transportation system is really hard. I'll try to explain here in a second. So anyway, I'm waiting for the train to Bad Dürkheim where I can do some wine tasting. So I went to the Heidelberg Bahnhof, and it said, oh, there's something leaving for Mannheim from Gleis D. Well, there was no Gleis D. So I checked the yellow board, and the yellow board said, actually, it leaves in 10 minutes from Gleis 1, or track 1. So then I go to 1, and there's a train standing there, but the door won't open. So I asked a German lady, entschuldigen Sie bitte, warum ist die Tür geschlossen? Why is the door closed? And she said, well, I don't really know. Well, where are you going? And she responded to me in English. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss my train. And it's true what they say, that you speak to them in German, they will speak to you in English if they can sniff out a hint of an accent. Anyway, I'm glad she was there because the train switched tracks just like 2 minutes before it left. So anyway, I got here to Mannheim, and I'm trying to figure out the regional system, which is outside the train station. And it goes in a million different directions, and trying to figure out which track, which train, which direction. It's complicated, but I can see that once you get it down, it's really awesome. So here's what it looked like on the way to Bad Dürkheim. I got off the train at Bad Dürkheim, and because it was raining and didn't want to wait around, ended up taking a taxi to Karlstadt, the home of the forefathers of Donald Trump, everybody seemed to know, as well as the Heinz ketchup. So I'm here in the Winzergenossenschaft in Karlstadt. I was last here 20 years ago, and it's modernized since then. It was just an old building. So I have here my very first wine, which I chose for the list here. They give me a little bit to taste. This one here is a Silvaner Token. It's my first taste here. You can see I'm a happy guy. So we see just
an amazing diversity of wine not available in the U.S. This is a Riesling in a champagne style. It's called Sect. And then we have all these grapes that you've never heard of and you can never find. This one is Rieslana, Silvana, Weissburgunder. Actually, that's a Pinot Blanc. Of course, Riesling. Everybody knows Riesling. Here we have Müller-Thurgau, Rivana, Muscateller. Here's Kerner. I had that last night. Muscateller. Scheurebe. Gewürztraminer. And then here we have the red wines. We've got Spätburgunder, that's Pinot Noir. Dornfelder, a grape called Saint Laurent. I don't know this one. Portuguese, something called a Schwarz Riesling.
So that was good. I bought 3 wines from the Winzergenossenschaft. I bought the Spätburgunder. Das ist Pinot Noir. The Silvana Trocken. Yummy, yummy. And last but not least, the Scheurebe Spätlese. Oh, wish I could get these in the U.S. Anyway, I'm at the Busshallplatz here, trying to get back to Bad Dürkheim.
So to locate the correct route and train, this was the easy to understand plan that they had for us. Interesting day trying to learn the transportation system. Fortunately, I've had rides on the Bahn system, the regional S-Bahn system, the street Straßenbahn system, a taxi. I've been on all of these things, and it's confusing. So there's the intercity Bahn system, which is fast trains between the major Bahnhofs, the major cities, and then the Bahn system also has smaller trains that go to the towns here and there within a region. But then each region has its own train system called the S-Bahn system, and they go to these same sort of places plus multiple stops along the way. And then you have the Straßenbahn system, which is generally concentrated in big cities, again, multiple stops. And then finally the buses, which are managed by the regional system. So there's a lot to figure out. But it looks like, for the most part, I should be able to use my Eurail pass and the Bahn system to get to all of the major towns. And then from the towns, I can use a smaller system to get to the individual streets and stuff. So it's been a good learning day. I've made a few mistakes. I've gotten on wrong trains, but usually there's been people to help me. So, past Bad Dürkheim, I decided to stop in Diedesheim for another wine tasting. And here you're going to hear the first real conversation that I had with somebody who didn't speak much English.
Erste Mal die 2 Riesling hier, Paradiesgarten, Gran Hubel, Kieselsberg. Danke. Und ich möchte diese 3 compare, vergleichen. Ja, vergleichen. Das ist viel Spaß für mich. Es macht Spaß.
Ja, das kann man mit Riesling auch sehr gut machen in dieser.
Es gibt keine Menschen hier in Diedesheim. Das Wetter ist schlechter.
Nein, es liegt an der Jahreszeit. Januar ist immer aber sehr
Januar ist da immer,
Januar, Februar ist sehr ruhig.
immer leer.
Kommt. Aber, ja, das Wetter ist nicht so schön, klar. Da
Ja,
kommen die
aber
Leute, Touristen sind kaum
Für mich, ich liebe Januar. Ich kann mit sie sprechen, zum Beispiel.
da. Ja, man hat Zeit, ja.
Es gibt Zeit zu sprechen, Zeit zu lernen, Zeit zu kosten.
Sie sprechen gut Deutsch.
Oh, danke.
Wo kommen Sie her? Aus,
Atlanta.
So I'd have to say this has been a pretty good day for me. I learned a really complicated transportation system. I've got a little bit more confidence in my German language. Although there's always a day or always a time when the other shoe's going to drop, both for transport and for trying to make oneself understood. So believe it or not, there's like five bottles of wine in this bag here that I'm carrying around. It weighs about as much as a heavy bowling ball. Not too bad, all things considered. So this place is kind of a trip. I just kind of stumbled upon it in the Altstadt. It's a kind of a big beer hall type of place. This is where I'm going to eat dinner tonight.
Ja, alles hier. Gut geschmeckt, gut geschmeckt.
Ja, zum Glück. Richtig.